Cool. All right. So my number 3 then is, you'll laugh, but it won't be surprising, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, 1982. I know, franchise here. I'm swerving into cheese territory here, but at the time, I loved that movie. I am a Star Trek fan from way back. I'm a purist. I like Kirk, Spock, McCoy, that crew. Tried as hard as I could to get into the subsequent versions of Star Trek. I do like the new cycle with those, back to Captain Kirk and Spock and whatnot. But at the time, this movie was what Star Trek the Motion Picture should have been, and they revisited the character of Khhaaannn Singh from the episode Space Seed. I think it was a 1967 episode written by Richard Mathis. No, I don't remember. So this character is from what was called the genetics wars of the 1990s, where scientists had started to manufacture superhuman people using, technologies like CRISPR or whatnot, that had ensued into a global war. And these last remnants had been banished from Earth. And in the original series, the Enterprise finds one of their capsules. There is a battle for control. And at the end of that episode, they leave Khan and his crew to a planet to build their own world. Better to rule in hell than serve in heaven. Well, Star Trek II takes place, obviously, 15 years later, and they discover Khhaaannn Singh and his crew again, but something's gone wrong on their planet, and he's out for revenge against Kirk and crew.
So I gotta agree with you on this one. I'm a Star Trek fan, but probably not as big of a Star Trek fan as you, because I didn't put one in my top 10. I didn't even have one in my overflow, so that's something.
Different one.
Yeah. But this is to me, this is one of the best, if not the best, Star Trek movie that's been made. Yeah. And there's so many iconic scenes of this. Of course, the one scene where he's yelling, "God!" Become a meme. It goes everywhere. So this, I completely agree with this. I probably should have had it in my top 10. There was just too many to choose from.
Yeah, I think it's every even numbered Star Trek movie is decent. And that seemed to be true. They got progressively worse. But I do like the new cycle, and I think they've really captured the sense of the characters in the new movies as well.
All right, number 3 for me. I went out on a limb on this one. John Carpenter's The Thing. This isn't your typical sci-fi movie. I mean, this was almost more of a horror movie than it was a sci-fi movie, but of course it had a sci-fi underlying theme in that this whole thing is about this alien creature that crash lands in Antarctica, and then these scientists are exploring the different areas, and they discover it in a block of ice, and they thaw it out, and all of a sudden this creature starts running around their camp, taking over their bodies, and nobody knows. It's almost like a newer version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where their bodies are being taken over by this alien species, and people are trying to figure out who's an alien, who's not. But the alien does such an amazing job at imitating a human that they just don't know. And so for me, it's John Carpenter, which I'm a big fan of. It's, that idea of, this infectious thing, this post-apocalyptic, disease type thing. And some of the dark humor in it. Like, as an example, one of my favorite scenes, because it scared the crap out of me, but at the same time made me laugh to the point of tears, was the scene towards the end of the movie where there's 3 people tied down to the couch, and they've got these petri dishes and a hot wire, and they're testing the blood to see if each person's an alien. And if they are, the blood will literally jump away from the hot thing, because every cell of this alien creature will protect itself. And so they're going through and testing them, and they hit one. And of course, there's 2 people tied to the couch that aren't the alien, and the third one is. And so there's this hilarious scene where the 2 people on the end are freaking out while the alien is, transforming in between them. And it's, but like I said, it's both terrifying and absolutely dark humor, because, you're at the edge of your seat laughing and crying and being scared at the same time. So it was a roller coaster for me, and it had to be in my top 10.